Alright, so I've done a bit of work since I last streamed. I think I left off something more like that. I made some changes to the monsters, or tweaked the colors a little bit, and this is where we're at now. Also, might as well show off some of my work that I did off stream. So this is one I painted at work, basically, off stream. Went a lot better than I thought. It's one of those illustrations where things just went right the entire time. And usually when that happens, I get a pretty good painting done pretty quick. And that's sort of what happened Thursday. And then Friday, spent some time doing a little bit more work on this guy. And yesterday I took off just to watch, what she calls it, Dune. And it was worth every minute I spent not painting. But anyway, now it's time to sort of get back at this a little bit. Sort of liked it more. I was sort of experimenting with that sort of like movement there, just sort of like readjusting the way the cloud sort of sat. I'm not sure I like the results, so let's go kind of back the other way. Sort of see if that works. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I didn't collect the best reference for this guy, which is kind of a problem. That's sort of like why I'm going back and forth a little bit, just because it's not planned out as much as I'd normally like it to be. Yeah, I think this works. Should probably check it with bleeds and the gutter. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better pulled away from the gutter a bit. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alright. Anyway, back at it. We need to do this on this clip layer. I want to add some like blue from that nebula on the back edge of that cloud. The easiest way to do that is just going to be to grab this super soft brush, get the right color. There we go. always a little difficult to get these like rotations like feeling right with the tentacles, just because they're such a noodly, strange shape. It really involves a lot of like thinking through where things are going to be. Just to go into a little bit of descriptive, being a little bit more talky this stream. A lot of what I'm doing now is just sort of establishing the direction of the light. You know, what's getting illuminated by what. There's a lot of like bounce light from the ocean coming off this guy. Or whatever this is. Might not actually be an ocean. There's a lot of like bounce light coming from there that I need to account for, so like the underside of these arms need to be lit reasonably strongly by that. Causing me so many problems. I had that layer on. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. sort of in the way. I always prefer to see a little bit more of my layers palette and a little bit less of the color palette in Photoshop. That's sort of why I use those HSV sliders. Just because the sliders, like, I kind of intuitively know now what color those sliders like are sort of tied with, if that makes sense. So it's pretty easy for me just to grab a color at this point and sort of manipulate it based on the numbers rather than trying to like get it perfectly down from the color wheel or anything like that. The color wheel is sort of an imperfect tool anyway. Let's get back to it real quick. Let's do this. Color wheel. Like this point should really be moving up and down with a value. Like a purple or a blue, it should be down here, like down in this area. And like a yellow, it should be like up more in this area here. Just because like a pure saturation yellow is lighter than a pure saturation purple. Probably get that star adjusted. We need to go in with an eraser and sort of clean up that edge there. I sort of want those other stars to be sort of like faded out by the atmosphere, but like this one's sort of getting a little bit too dulled out. Because I really want this one to be sort of tied and associated with that one there. So I'll put a couple of the stars above the atmosphere. Let's grab just throw in an effect real quick. Let's do like a lens flare. bothering me a little bit less now, which is what I was going for. So those are all in their own layers, which means I could go in and just soft brush in a little bit of that nebula color. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm not liking that layer. That layer's not doing it for me. I can always paint these back in later. So like I've got that mask preserved, which basically means I can go do whatever I want with that layer. I think we do need some like bigger star dots back here, so it's like more like a star field. I think that means on the monster we're going to need to bring some of that white light in. Okay, good. I'll get that fixed later. At this point, I'd almost just move this guy over just a hair. Just sort of like block in the person real quick. That way I can see where it's sort of sitting compositionally. definitely need to come up with a better pose than that. And one of the other things I was thinking about doing was trying to get like a picture of a parking lot at this angle. And instead of like doing like a beach, sort of just do like a parking lot where the parking lines are sort of turning into waves and doing something like that. It's going to be a little bit tough. We'll see how well I can pull it off, but I think that's what's next in my plans. But also, I think I might call it here tonight. I'm getting a little bit tired, and yeah, I just needed to mostly show up here to get a little bit of art done. So, thanks for coming, and I'll be back tomorrow night.